Hi, I'm here making a card using stencils from A Colorful Life Designs. Now this card uses non-traditional colors for a holiday greeting. Alright, let's get started. I'm using Angular Trees, which has 3 Christmas trees, and Falling Snow. These are the 2 stencils that I'll be creating with today. I'm using Post-it notes just to mask off the white space on the card base. I will have a coupon code. It is TracyFan10, and that saves you 10% off of your order at A Colorful Life Designs. I will have that listed in my description box below. They have lots of wonderful stencils to choose from. You can use my link below. It'll take you directly to the website. Thank you for using my link. I'm using 3 colors from Catherine Pooler. Drive-In, which is purple, Lime Ricky, which is green, and All That Jazz, which is blue. I have used some Post-it notes on the outside of my stencil just to help prevent me from ink smudging onto the white card where I don't want to. You can use paper if you do not have Post-it notes. Some people can even use masking paper if they have that. I'm using my Wendy Vicky Make Art Station big magnets to keep this project in place. And I'm just going to go ahead and ink blend the trees using those 3 colors of Catherine Pooler ink. And a blending brush, or several blending brushes, for the different colors of the trees. I'll have all these products linked below in my description box. You'll see I switched again to a clean piece of cardstock. With the stencil, I accidentally bumped the Post-it note off, and the last panel, I got a little bit of ink where I didn't want it. And so I didn't have that recorded, or I would have showed it to you. So let's just go ahead and use this panel as our starting off point. The ink that I'm using is called Drive-In, a purple ink from Catherine Pooler. I will switch my brush to match the color of ink that I am creating with. And then the second color is Lime Ricky. And the third color is All That Jazz. You can pick whatever color inks you like, whatever brand you like. You can use foam blending tools versus the brushes, however you'd like it. I picked these colors because my dear friend Nancy Stamps did a video where she created several cards using non-traditional holiday colors, and I really liked the look of that. This one has a little bit, I had too much ink on my blending tool, so there's a little bit of ink that seeped underneath the stencil, which that's okay. I can go in with a white gel pen and correct that. So I'm going to keep going, and I have a 4th color here. This is Something Borrowed, also by Catherine Pooler. What I'm doing is I'm taking my stencil, cleaning it off in between each color, and I'm overlaying it on top of the ones that I just stenciled earlier. So I'm using a different color ink so that as I alternate, we have purple, blue, and green in an alternating pattern. And I have all of the little lines going in the same direction. You could flip the stencil over and have the lines go in a different direction. So this is the final look of this ink blended line of trees, and it just looks a little bit uneven. It looks like the trees on the end have more space in between them than the others, and so yet again I'm starting over. I hope you don't mind. This should be called the video where I start over and over and over, but it just shows you the process. When you're working with your new stencils, go ahead and play a little bit. Try different shades of colors. Try different alignments until you get that look that you think is perfect. All right, so I'm going with a new strategy. I'm starting with Lime Ricky, and the original 3 trees I'm going to color in with Lime Ricky. I think this is going to give me a better look in the end, and that's why I decided to give it a try. My Lime Ricky seems to be a little bit dry, but that's okay. I'm going to work the ink so that it looks vibrant. Catherine Puller inks are very vibrant, and if you have the re-inkers, it's even better, because then you're able to go ahead and re-ink when you start running low on a certain color. I'm cleaning my stencil off camera. You can't see me do it. What I'm doing is I'm flipping it over so that the lines go in the different direction than the trees that I've already ink blended. It takes me just a minute to get my Post-it notes set up to the point where I think they're going to stay still. And I'm hoping that they do their job and keep that mask in place so that we don't have any ink blending where we don't want it on this panel. You see me just getting it lined up right so that it doesn't jiggle free. The color that I'm using right now is called All That Jazz, and I just re-inked it, so I was just rubbing my brush and just taking some of that color off. And then I'm going to use my purple, which is Drive-In. And I'm just creating an alternating pattern. I'm going to do purple again because I think it looks really nice. Okay, so we've only got one blue tree, so I'm going to go ahead and shift that stencil down a little bit and add one more blue using All That Jazz. So yeah, I have the video sped up just for the sake of time, because otherwise it would be about a 2-hour video. And no one wants to watch that. All right, next I grabbed Falling Snow. I also grabbed the ink It's a Boy from Catherine Puller, and I'm just filling in the white space and using this stencil to create a background. I'm not too worried about getting any of that blue, light blue color It's a Boy on top of anything that I already inked. I think it'll be fine. Okay. Because my trays look like they're floating in air, we can't have that. We want it to have something to ground them with. So I grabbed the Snow Hill Edger from a Colorful Life Designs, and I grabbed some ink, It's a Boy from Catherine Puller, and I'm just adding that little snow hill to the bottom of the tree trunks. And then I put a couple more little hills in just to make it look like there's, snow underneath. And that's my last thing that I do to this card. The only thing that's remaining is to trim it down and place it on a card base. And what I used to do that is a stitched rectangle die, which you're going to see here in a minute. I'm going to show a photo of the finished card and explain how I finished it. But here you can see how easy it is to use the Snow Edger stencil to create these little snow banks. So I used a stitched rectangle die to cut out the panel, and then I ink blended, or like ink swiped, using that Drive-In ink to create my matte layer. And so instead of using colored paper, I created my own colored paper. That's what that matte layer is. And then I had this sentiment from the Ton holiday ribbons stamp set. And I used that because I thought the colors matched really well. I had already created that sentiment a while ago. So I grabbed it from my stash, and I think it went very well as far as the color scheme. And then I did put that on a colored card base. And so I thought it turned out really nice. Hope that you like this card. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. And everybody, if you could please give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment, I would greatly appreciate it. I read every comment, and they really do mean a lot to me to hear from you all. Thanks so much for watching, and have a hopeful day. Bye-bye.